Alright guys, welcome back into the channel. If I'm speaking a little bit lower than usual, it's because it's a little bit late here in Japan, so I need to keep my voice fairly low. But anyways, along with the new update that's been released earlier today, uh, there's a couple of new tracks that are based around Kyoto Driving Park. So if you played the game before the update, um, we had two different tracks in Kyoto Driving Park. We had the Yamagiwa layout and the Miyabi layout. So these new tracks basically consists of both layouts into one. So we're gonna be testing both of them out, both the Yamagiwa plus Miyabi and Yamagiwa plus Miyabi 2. And we're gonna also be using uh, one of the new cars that came with the update. So I think I'm gonna start out with one of the Nissan GTRs. So let's filter it out by manufacturer and go to Nissan. All right. So we have, I think I'm gonna go with the R34, which is my favorite out of the two. All right. Let me turn the traction control off to get a feel for how the car handles in this setting. So this track should be familiar to anybody who has played any of the two layouts that already existed in the game prior to the update. So this shouldn't be anything new. It's just a matter of putting them putting them both together into a single track, and you're obviously gonna get the longer track. I gotta say that these original tracks that Polyphony Digital created for Gran Turismo Sport is among some of my uh, favorite in any racing game ever. They're really creative, and I don't know, man. The flow of these tracks is so good that I sometimes think they are better than actual real life tracks. I think that my two favorite tracks in this game, original ones, are the Tokyo track and also the Autodrome La Maggiore, Lago Maggiore actually. Alright, so this part is different. I think this is where the two layouts connect. So there's this sort of like hairpin turn, followed by another one of these, and I think that's where uh, we get to the second layout of the track. Let me see. Looks like, I get it. I get it now. So they basically got one of the layouts, and the second layout is actually the reverse version. So we are basically running backwards on, I think this is the Yamagiwa, or is it the Miyabi? Anyways, this is the reverse version of one of the tracks. I'm driving awfully because this is literally my very first time driving around this track, and this is actually my very first time driving this car. So I know nothing about the braking points. I don't know nothing about how the car is supposed to behave. So bear with me as I figure this out while I'm racing and talking at the same time. So this part is familiar. So it looks like we're back into the the normal layout, not the reverse one. This is literally the end of one of the tracks. So we're gonna exactly that. So I don't remember the proper layout names. I'm not good at remembering this stuff, but this is definitely the second layout. All right, so this should be enough to give us a first look into uh, the track, into the new track. So let's do just one more lap around this track hopefully trying to stay on the road rather than screwing things up like I just did back there. Yeah, this section. Yeah, I've tried the Mazda RX-7 and it feels a little bit finicky with the traction control off, so it's a little bit more difficult to control. But this car with the traction control off is actually quite manageable, so you shouldn't have too many problems trying to keep this car under control. It's just a matter, at least for me in this race, it's just a matter of figuring out the braking points with this car and on this new layout. Even though most of the sections are I'm already familiar with, there is a new section like this one that I don't know about the braking points, so we need to figure this out. Alright, should have been more careful. Alright. So I'm not gonna do the entire race. I'm just gonna cut it short as soon as you cross the line into the third lap. But this should give you a very good idea of what the track is all about. Polyphony Digital has already said that they are planning more tracks for the game, so I think at this point it's fairly obvious to think that they're gonna be adding more real life tracks moving forward, because I don't think they're gonna be creating a lot more tracks than they have already included in the game. This game came with a lot of original tracks, far more than I expected, and very few actual real life tracks. In I think earlier this week, they announced sort of a tie-in event with the Catalonia 24 Hours. It's an event that's going to take place next year in September, and they said that they're going to hold a 24-hour event in the game to kind of tie in with the real life one, and kind of got me wondering two things. First one, we don't have the Catalonia circuit in the game, and the second one, we don't have dynamic time of day. So maybe they are planning on implementing that into the game later down the road. I don't know, but that would make sense, because since this is a 24-hour race, you wouldn't want the time of day to not progress. So I think it makes sense that they might be planning to add time progression into the game later on. There are already hints that they're going to be adding dynamic weather, because if you play through the campaign before they added the GT Leagues in this update, which is the actual proper campaign, I'm talking about the campaign as it was known before the update. So if you play through that, you will know that there are, I think, maybe 3 or 4 different events that take place in the rain. And as you probably know, there is no rain in any of the tracks in the arcade mode or sport mode. So I think they might be planning to add both features into the game. But anyways, that's enough of this track. Let's change to the second layout, the Kyoto Driving Park, Yamagiwa plus Miyabi 2. This is going to be basically the same event, the same track, but probably reversed. Alright, so let's go with a different car. We have already tried this one out. I think I want to go with one of the Ferraris. Okay, let's come here. Yeah, I think I want to go with the F40. For this one, I'm gonna go with racing hard, because I think it's gonna be a little bit difficult to race with a sports tire, and we're gonna set the traction control to 0 to get a feel for how the car actually handles. Again, we're not gonna be doing the entire race. We're gonna just be doing maybe the first 2 laps. But yeah, we're starting reverse. So yeah, the second layout is basically the reverse version of the first one. Yeah, shift down a little bit too much. But I really like this car right off the bat. But then again, it's an F40. It's usually a really great car regardless of the game you're using this on. Alright. Here's the OP car, the Megane. This new track is gonna require a little bit of practice because these sections are really throwing me off. I have no idea of where to brake. And to be honest, I'm not that familiar with the reverse layouts of the other tracks that make up this new longer layout. So I think I'm gonna practice a little bit more on these tracks because I'm pretty sure the Polyphony Digital is gonna be adding these into the sport mode in one of the daily races. They'll probably want to make use of the new tracks very soon. The car feels really stable with the traction control off actually. I would have expected the car to put a little bit of a fight, especially so when you're trying to keep it under control, but I haven't had too much trouble keeping the car stable at all. And I'm using a dual shock 4, not using the wheels, so this is very telling of how good this car actually is. Oh crap, oh crap. Yeah, anybody who says that the sounds in Gran Turismo Sport are bad are lying, man, because I can certainly understand that the sounds in the Gran Turismo 6 or 5 weren't that great, especially so when you compare them against Forza and now Assetto Corsa and Project Cars. But the sounds in Gran Turismo Sport are so much better, and sometimes better even than the competition, that I don't know where these people are coming from when they say that the sounds in this game suck. Look at the sound of this Ferrari. And look at how bad I drive. Oh my god. I swear that I can drive better than this, but man, learning a new track or a new layout for that matter is it requires time and effort. It's not something that you're gonna learn on your first couple tries. Well, at least for myself, that's not how it works for me. Maybe some people are able to pick up on the braking points and the turning points fairly quickly, but it takes me maybe 10 laps to start to figure it out and do it properly. This car is really fun to drive. I think I'm gonna actually finish the race. Way more fun than the R34, to be honest. I really need to remember this corner. I always forget about it. And by always, I mean the past 10 minutes, because that's how long I've been playing this track. Awesome. Okay, we're about to cross the line into the last lap. Yeah, I'm gonna finish this race. This car is really fun to drive. I shift one gear too much. And, oh man, this is awful. Just as I said I was gonna actually finish the race, I pull off a crap like this. Alright, so this is fairly tight. Again, off the track. I guess this is painful for you guys to watch. I haven't been able to keep this car under control for the past lap or so. I don't care, this is fun. It looks like the second place was about to catch up to us, but we're driving a little bit better, so we're kind of pulling away from him. The game felt a little bit stuttery over that section. I don't know if that was just me or if you guys could see it too. Okay, so we're about to finish the race. We just have this set of fairly straightened out corners and this fairly long one, and that's it. Alright guys, so that's been our first look at the two new layouts in this game. I hope you enjoyed watching this. If you did like, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel for more GT Sport content, share the video with your friends and on your social media, helps me out a lot. And I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye.